We'll just start in a few minutes. Are you all set? Give me a hands raised. Hi, Mannat. Great to have you. I'm glad you made it. Hello, Divij. Congratulations. Take a deep breath and let's get ready. All set? Hi, Gaurav. Hi, Shiven Purohit. I just happened to speak to your mother a while back. Glad you made it. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third edition of the Hawa Hawaii quiz series, the Hawa Hawaii 3.0. We are excited to have you here today, and a huge congratulations to all of you for making it this far. You have come a long way from the qualifying round, the brainstorm blitz, the first breath, and now you're here, ready to compete in the thrilling final round, which is the Air Wars, the final frontier. Give yourselves a big round of applause because you have earned it. And before we jump in, let's go over a few important details. Here, I would read out to you some basic rules for the quiz today. Make sure that you follow these carefully as you battle your way through the questions. And we want to keep things fun and fair for you, so please pay close attention. Okay, I'll be reading out the rules to you, so just pay close attention to it. First thing is that there should be only one participant per device. It could be either a mobile or your computer screen. Make sure that you keep your videos on, right? Also, do not keep switching between apps because you will be otherwise disqualified. There should not be any cheating. Third, avoid any distraction. Stay in a closed room. Make sure that nobody is there to disturb you. And most importantly, have a very stable internet connection with you. Okay? Just in case the internet drops or something happens, this or that, we should be sure that you're able to maintain continuity. Next slide, please. Right. So the participation certificates will be given to all those who have qualified from the qualifying round. And tonight, or latest by next week, we will be uploading the certificates for all of you. And the winners will be declared today at the end of the day. Here we have the structure of the quiz. We have two rounds, the qualifying round today, and the qualifying round which happened on Tuesday, and the final round which is today. Each round, that is even the round that is today, will have a warm-up question and will have 15 MCQs following that. These 15 MCQs are the ones which will decide the winner of the day today. So you make sure that you answer them to the best of your ability. Next is that all questions are time bound. It could be either 15 seconds or 30 seconds or 45 seconds, but make sure that you attempt all of these questions as much as you can. Now we have some Mentimeter guidelines for you to follow. Click on the link in the chat box to join the quiz. This link will be given to you in a short while. The moment we have the link, I will let you know. You need to click this link and enter your details correctly. Most importantly, enter your email ID very, very, very carefully. I cannot emphasize this more. The email ID that you will enter should be the same email ID that you have used to register for the quiz in the Zoom registration link. So, in the very first time, when you had used the Zoom registration link to enter our quiz, it is the same email ID that you should be using today, right? Then, next is then you will be displayed the warm-up question. In the warm-up question, you check your audio and video, and you check whether you are able to attempt it carefully or not. Last, you prepare for the battle. The faster you answer a question correctly, the more points you will earn. So you make sure you attempt all of them. The results will be available to you today itself as we'll be declaring the winners. Right. I think this is all that you need to know for the quiz today. Now, finally, let's give a warm welcome to our Now, a quick heads up will be that later on in the quiz, you'll be joined by our quiz expert, who is Vivek Chattopadhyay, who will walk you through the correct answers and explain everything in detail. So even if a question stumps you, don't worry, you'll be learning all the cool facts about air pollution along the way. And finally, let's give a warm welcome to our amazing quiz host for today, Tushita Rawat. She'll be guiding you through the quiz competition, and trust me, you're in great hands. All right, everyone, gear up, stay focused, and most importantly, have fun. Wishing each one of you very best of luck as you take on the Air Wars. Let's get started. Sorry.
Hi everybody, my name is Tushita and I will be your quiz host for today. So first of all, I want all of us to clap for ourselves for qualifying for the final round. So can we all have a huge round of applause and clap for ourselves? Because you did tremendously well in the qualifying round and now you're here in the final round. Today we will have our top winners and we will find out who these winners are towards the end of the quiz. So are you all ready? Can we have thumbs up? Are you all ready for the final round? Do we start the Menti quiz? Who is prepared? Who feels prepared enough to start the quiz? Okay, quite a few of you. It's going to be a good competition then. Okay, so would anybody like to tell me what they have studied for today's final round? Okay, Tejaswini, I see your hand raised. So I'm going to unmute you. Tell us how you've prepared for the final round today.
Actually, my mom took notes and I studied through that, and now I feel confident. My notes boosted up my morale.
That's brilliant, Tejaswini. We need more participants like you. You're making the competition tougher, and that's what we want. Anybody else who would like to share how they've prepared for the quiz? You can raise your hand either using Zoom reactions or in your video, and I will unmute you. Would you like to share how you have prepared for the quiz, if you have? Okay, Atiksh and Mannat, could I please request you guys to switch on your videos? Atiksh, I'm unmuting you. Yeah, thank you. Would you like to share how you have prepared for today's quiz?
So basically, I didn't do much. I just went to the website and like there was some syllabus there, so I just
Yes.
read that.
Yes. Oh, so you've gone through the syllabus. Perfect. You might just win this. Great. Sharia Tehreem. How have you prepared, Sharia?
Ma'am, I have also gone through the syllabus.
Okay, you've also gone through the syllabus. That's brilliant. Okay, so I think, okay, Parth, we will hear from you and then maybe we can start the quiz. Parth, how have you prepared? What would you like to share?
Ma'am, I have gone to the syllabus.
Okay, so most
Ma'am?
of you have, yeah, go ahead, Parth.
Yes, ma'am, and my friend is also in the final round, but he has not get the link to attend this session, and I have sent him. Then the name is coming. My name is only coming.
Oh, Parth, so you have to say, you have to share the registration link with him. Don't share the link that you received after filling out the form. Share the link that came to you first. Or we will share. What is the name of your friend?
Vihan Rajput.
Vihan Rajput. So we will share the link with Vihan and Vihan can join from his own account. Okay, don't worry, he will be here and we'll start
Yes,
the
ma'am.
quiz with him.
Her call has came to me that talk to the ma'am that I am not joining.
Okay, so we will help out Vihan. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention, Parth. So are we ready to start the quiz? Okay, maybe a couple of more sharings then. Who else would like to share something before we begin the quiz? Anything about how you've prepared, what you found difficult, whether or not you're bothered? You know how it happens before an exam? No, I don't think anybody is worried, which is a great sign. Vidhi, would you like to share how you have prepared for the quiz? Vidhi Kundu? आपने कुछ पढ़ाई की है क्विज के लिए? विधि म्यूट पे चली गए हैं. हाँ विधि आप कुछ बोल रहे थे?
Ma'am, I have prepared through my notes.
Okay, you also have your notes. Wonderful, wonderful. I have high expectations now from this quiz, and I think it's going to be a great competition. I would request my team to let me know when we are ready to start the quiz. So you know the drill. We will post a link in the chat box. You will have to click on that link. We'll then ask for some general information like your full name, your email ID, your phone number, because we need to contact you in case you win the quiz and send you amazing prizes. And after that, our questions start. There's going to be one warm-up question. We will not count your scores for that. After that, there will be 15 questions for which you will be scored. सो अभी चैट बॉक्स में एक लिंक आएगा, आप उस पर क्लिक कीजिएगा और जो भी हम डिटेल्स पूछे आपको डिटेल्स दीजिए, पहले अपना नाम डालिए, अपना ईमेल डालिए. बहुत सारे बच्चों ने गलत ईमेल आईडी डाल दी थी, सो आप अपना समय लीजिए, बहुत केयरफुली टाइप कीजिए क्योंकि हमें फिर आपको इंफॉर्मेशन भेजने में प्रॉब्लम होती है. प्लीज एंश्योर दैट यू आर एंटरिंग द करेक्ट details, correct email ID, correct phone number, because that's very important. That's how we contact you. Manishka, you have raised your hand. Is there anything that you'd like to ask before we begin?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good
I
evening.
wanted to ask that how many winners will there be at the end?
Okay, so we are keeping it a secret, but we are going to send prizes to the top winners, but there will be certificates for all of you. All of you who complete the quiz today will get something out of this, either certificates or prizes. So towards the end of the quiz, we will announce how many top winners will receive prizes from us. So that's a bit of a suspense for which you'll have to wait towards the end. And I think this is it. We are ready for the quiz. Okay, I have received a thumbs up from Manishka as well. So now my team is going to post the Menti link in the chat box. Please click on it and then we'll remain on the Menti screen. Okay, the link is there in the chat box. Click on it, take your time, fill out the details so that we can start the quiz. I hope all of you have seen the link in the chat box and are joining the Menti quiz. All right, we haven't started the questions yet. But these are some general details that we need to know before we start. So please let us know your name and your email ID. Very important. Please enter your full name and your email ID. 7 of you have responded. 9, the number is increasing. We want all of you on the Menti screen. Bihan Rajput, if you're in the call, I think you're still using Parts link. So please check your email. We have sent you a Zoom registration link, Bihan. Click on that, fill out the form, and then you will receive your Zoom link. आप अभी मेल चेक कीजिए अपना जो आपने हमें ईमेल आईडी दी थी वो उसमें आपके पास जूम से एक मेल आया होगा आप फटाफट वो फॉर्म भरिए आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन लिंक मिलेगा आप उससे ज्वाइन कीजिए फिर पार्थ का नाम नहीं आएगा ओके विहान इफ यू आर लिसनिंग टू मी For those of you who have just joined, Menti link for the quiz is in the chat box. Please open it, click on the link, and provide us with the information that we're asking so that we can begin. Okay. Thank you, Vihan, for joining. And these Zoom links are unique to you. So I request the participants present here to not to share it with anybody. आपको जो Zoom का joining link आता है वो सिर्फ आपके लिए होता है. It's unique to you. So please don't share it with anybody. You can share the form, the Zoom form with your friends who have qualified for the round. Okay, almost all of you have responded to this question. We can move to the next one. Please fill out these two details also very quickly. Most of you have also responded for this question. I think we can wait for 1 more minute and then move to the next. All right, I think we can move to the next slide. Here comes the warm-up question. This is just to get you in the groove of answering questions and jog your memory. So this is a warm-up question. We will not assess you for this. It will just give you an idea of how we are going to go about this quiz, okay? 54 players are ready. Let's get started. Here is the warm-up question for the final round. Which international agreement that aimed at reducing CFC emissions or chlorofluorocarbon emissions was signed in 1987? So you have to name the international agreement. Was it Paris Agreement, Montreal Protocol, Geneva Convention, or Kyoto Protocol? Remember, this is a warm-up question. 10 seconds are left. Most of the responses have come in. 27 of you answered correctly. The correct answer is Montreal Protocol, which was signed in 1987, and it aimed at reducing CFC emissions, which have now been phased out, as our expert will tell you more about towards the end of this presentation. So now I think we are ready to move to the final round, the questions that will be scored. Let's look at the leaderboard for this question. This is what you're going to see for the first half of the quiz. Leaderboard will only be there for the first half of the quiz. For this question, you can see Atiksh Gupta was the fastest. I think he was sitting in the car, just casually doing it. And you are the fastest, so good job. And then there are the rest. But as you know from the last time, anything can happen towards the end. So I think this gives us a good idea and we are ready to go. Yes. Here comes the first official question of the final round of Hawa Hawaii 3.0. How is acid rain formed? We will start scoring you from this question onwards. So be careful. Through sulfur and nitrogen oxides reacting with water in atmosphere, through oxidation of methane and chlorofluorocarbons in troposphere, through photolysis of oxygen in the presence of sunlight, or through deposition of carbon dioxide on buildings. You have to tell us how acid rain is formed. I think this is in the textbooks as well. So I expect a lot of correct answers here. We have 53 responses here, 54 now. Brilliant. This is exactly what I was expecting. Almost all of you have answered correctly. Through sulfur and nitrogen oxides reacting with water in an atmosphere. And this, I think, is proof enough that you're reading your textbooks correctly and you have prepared well for this quiz. Let's look at the leaderboard for this question. Atiksh Gupta fastest again, and Ekakshar is also on the second position, Gaurav on the third, and then the rest. Good job, all of you guys. You all performed very well on this question. Let's move to the next. So there's a picture that you can look at and answer the question accordingly. Have you ever noticed any brown haze in the atmosphere around you during summers? So the brown haze is visible in the picture also. It is called photochemical smog. It is formed through. So that's what you have to answer. What is photochemical smog formed through? You have the options in front of you. 20 seconds left. Students are responding really fast. I hope it's correct as well. Last 5 seconds. And time is up. So there goes the correct answer. 38 students have answered correctly. Let's look at the leaderboard for this. Oh, the picture has changed. Ekakshar is now topping the chart. Gaurav on the second position, then Molishri, and then the rest. Great, great job. This is how the picture changes. Let's move to the next question. Third out of 15. Which indoor air pollutant is a radioactive gas linked to lung cancer? It enters our homes through cracks and holes, building materials, and cooking. So you have to name the indoor air pollutant, which is also a radioactive gas. Is it radon, argon, neon, or helium? Last 5 seconds to answer the question. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. The correct answer is radon, and 40 of you have answered correctly. Very nice. Let's look at the leaderboard after this question. Pranav and Ayush Garg both were the fastest for this question, but Mollishri is topping the charts. She's on the first position, then Ekakshar, then Pranav and Ayush. Great. Let's move to the next question. 61 players are playing this, so I want all of you to respond. Which pollutant is mainly released from burning coal? Simple question. Which pollutant is mainly released from burning coal? Nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, oxygen, chlorofluorocarbon. Fifteen more seconds. Last 5 seconds, guys, to answer the question. 2, 1. And there goes the correct answer. It's sulfur dioxide. It's the main pollutant released from burning coal. 29 of you know that. Quite a few have said chlorofluorocarbon. That is the wrong answer. Let's look at the leaderboard. Who was the fastest? Manishka was the fastest for this question, but Mollishri is still at the top, then Ayush Garg, and then Atyup. Question 6 of 16. Which of these is most effective in reducing particulate matter emissions from smokestacks? Remember, smokestacks are these chimneys that are found in factories, in ships, in trains. So you have to tell us the most effective way of reducing particulate matter emissions from these chimneys. Electrostatic precipitator, catalytic converter, carbon filter, or wet scrubber. This is a tough one. I would like to see how many of you answer this correctly. We have 57, 58 responses. How did you do that, guys? This is impressive. 30 of you answered correctly. I was not expecting this. Okay, very, very impressed. Let's look at the leaderboard. Mannat was the fastest for this question, but Sanjay, Ayush, and Arshpreet are in the top 3. Okay, good enough. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following contributes to both global warming and acid rain? So remember, both global warming and acid rain. Carbon dioxide, or sulfur dioxide, or nitrogen dioxide, or ozone. You have to choose the correct answer that contributes to both. Time is up. We have 58 responses. Oh, this is pretty well distributed. 20 of you have given the wrong answer, which is carbon dioxide, because you have carbon dioxide contributes to global warming, but not to acid rain. So is the case with sulfur dioxide. So nitrogen dioxide is the correct answer for this, but unfortunately, only 18 of you responded correctly. And as for the leaderboard after this question, Kashika was the fastest for this question, and she has managed to secure the third position. On the first position, we have Ayush Garg and then Arshpreet Kaur. Next question coming right up. Which of these is the most common health issue caused by ground level ozone pollution? We're talking about ground level ozone. So you have to think if it's bad ozone or good ozone. Cardiovascular issues, so heart and blood vessels related issues. Respiratory issues related to respiration, breathing. Autoimmune issues or dermatological issues. Dermatological issues are skin related. Okay. Thirty-seven of you have answered correctly. Respiratory issues is the correct answer. And for this question, the participant who was the fastest was Kashika again. Kashika, you're on the second position, Arshpreet on the first, and Sanjay on the third position. And our leaderboard ends here. It only shows the progress made by you so far, but we have 8 more questions to go. So we can move to the next question, and we will have our winners towards the end. Our leaderboard ends here. इस सवाल के बाद अब हम आपको leaderboard दिखाएंगे. अभी पूरी आधी quiz बची है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, so answer correctly. Question 9 on your screens. Which phenomena reflects solar radiation back into space due to airborne particles? Pollutants, I'm sorry. Greenhouse effect, albedo effect, aerosol effect, ozone depletion. So you have to choose the phenomena that reflects solar radiation back into space because of airborne pollutants. "15 seconds left. Think of all these effects and then answer the question. Time is up, 59 responses, and almost all are incorrect. So this question got to you. Aerosol effect is the correct answer, but only 8 of you have responded correctly. So, and we don't even have the leaderboard after this, so we will not get to know who was the fastest for this question, but that is a suspense that will be revealed towards the end. Let's move to the next question quickly. Question 10 of 16. Which city experienced the highest amount of ozone pollution this year? So city with the highest amount of ozone pollution in 2024, was it Delhi NCR, Mumbai, Kolkata, or Chennai? Almost 5 seconds left, but most of you have already answered. I don't think you require as much time then. Let's look at the correct answer. It's Delhi NCR. Maybe this was a no-brainer in some ways. Okay, so very well performed on this question. Delhi NCR, 52 of you out of 60 have answered correctly. Let's move to the next question. How does ammonia or NH3 from agriculture contribute to air pollution? It forms secondary particulate matter, causes direct respiratory damage, increases greenhouse gas emissions, or directly responsible for photochemical smog? Remember, ammonia and how it contributes to air pollution from agriculture. Fifteen seconds left. This one also might be a tough one. Last 3 seconds, guys. Quickly answer. Okay, we have 60 responses. 23 of you, the majority has responded correctly. It forms secondary particulate matter. That's how it contributes to air pollution. Time for the next question. When do we know that ozone has reached a dangerous level in the air? NAAQS or NAAQS data shows rise in average amount of ozone recommended for 1 hour, shows rise in average amount of ozone recommended for 8 hours, both A and B, or none of the above. This will require a bit of thinking. You have 20 seconds. Think through all the responses and then answer. Last 5 seconds, guys. Quickly punch in your answers. Oh, we stopped at 59 this time. But still 29 of you managed to answer this correctly. It is both A and B. So average amount of ozone recommended for 1 hour and for 8 hours. That's how we know the dangerous levels of ozone. Moving to the next question, we are coming to the close. So let's look at this question. Which city saw a 4,000% rise in ozone exceedance days in 2024 compared to 2023? Ozone exceedance days are simply days when concentration of ozone increases the recommended safe limit. So ozone exceeds its safe limit. So you have to tell us the city that saw 4,000% rise. Was it Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Kolkata, or Chennai? 10 seconds left for you to answer. And we have 60 responses for this question. Perfect. Oh, Ahmedabad is indeed the correct answer. 27 of you have managed to give us the correct answer. I wonder how you knew this. Maybe you've gone through the syllabus actually. Great. So let's move to the next question. What effect does tropospheric ozone have on agricultural productivity? It provides nutrition and enhances crop yields. It damages plant tissues and reduces yield. It promotes photosynthesis among plants in general. It causes no visible effect as such. Tropospheric ozone and its impact on agricultural productivity. Last 15 seconds. I hope all 60 responses come in. We are at 58, 59, and 60. Okay, 61 this time. The majority has spoken correctly. It damages plant tissues and reduces yields. That's how it impacts the agricultural productivity. This is the correct answer. 40 of you have answered correctly. Great. This is the second last question for today. So only 2 more questions left to change the picture and top the charts. Here comes the second last question. Why is ground level ozone particularly dangerous in areas with less nitrogen dioxide or NO2? Such areas are less monitored. Good ozone forms in such areas and goes waste. Less nitrogen dioxide allows ozone to build up. Nitrogen dioxide blocks sunlight, preventing ozone formation. 20 seconds left. Let's see how you deal with this tough one. Last 5 seconds. And we have received all the responses. Okay, close competition between the last two options, but the correct answer is less nitrogen dioxide allows ozone to build up. 27 of you are correct, and the rest 25 are close but not quite. Last question for today's quiz. Or was this the last question? Oh, okay. All right, so we can stop the sharing now. So our quiz ends here. I hope you're all happy with the way you have performed on this quiz, because I was extremely, extremely impressed with the way you answered all those tough questions. We were setting up these questions in office, and at some point we thought that these are maybe a bit too difficult for them, but seems like nothing is too difficult for you. So good job, very well done. And now let's welcome back your host, Anubhuti.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. How was the quiz? Were you able to answer it well? Were you able to perform well? Did you enjoy? Yeah? Very subdued responses. Okay, who all felt that you did the best you could? No? No responses? Okay, Azlan feels that he did the best as much as possible. Shreya, Vidhu, that's nice. That's great to know. And how many of you felt that the questions were very tough? Were they, you felt as if that in spite of your preparation, you weren't able to make, do well. Did you actually feel that? Okay, a couple of you. All right, that's nice. Okay, so now it's actually time that we invite our host for the day. I'm sorry, the guest speaker of the day. He He's our air pollution expert in-house, and he will help you run through all the questions and give you the correct answers and explain why a certain question was correct. Vivek, do we have you with us? Vivek, are you there? Vivek, could you please unmute yourself? Well, let me give you a brief introduction of Vivek. So Vivek is an expert on air pollution, and he's the principal program manager of the Clean Air and Sustainable Mobility Program at the Center for Science and Environment. He's been with CSE since 2000, researching and shaping policies to improve air quality and helping in cleaner fuels, stricter pollution standards, and plans to improve air in cities. His Right to Clean Air campaign fights for everyone's right to breathe clean air. And with an MTech in Energy and Environmental Management from the IIT Delhi, Vivek is a real expert. So let's give him a warm welcome. Vivek, are you now ready?
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much, Vivek, for making it to our session today in spite of your busy schedule. I will now present all the questions one by one, and it would be great if you can help our children understand why the correct answer was actually the correct answer for the day. And meanwhile, it would be great until we do the presentation. If you could share with us some important facts on how air pollution actually impacts children in particular. That would be great.
Yeah, two segments of the population, like the people, are considered very vulnerable. First is like the people who are affected with the respiratory ailments, certainly. But among the common citizens also, children and elderly people are considered highly vulnerable because of among the children, because they have the developing lungs, immune system is not that perfect, it is still developing, and they are very active compared to adults, so they breathe a lot of air compared to an adult. So certainly if they live in a polluted city or area, a lot of pollution gets into them. For example, one study conducted in Delhi of lung capacity, how much we breathe and how much we can breathe out. They found that 45% of the school going children out of 12,000 kids being monitored, they found 45% kids have lower lung capacity. The capacity of the lung is not that perfect. Certainly, so when they grow up, then there are high chances of air pollution impacts, respiratory ailments. So we are very concerned about the children's impact, how they get impacted by air pollution.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know, Vivek. Children indeed are the most vulnerable section, and that's why I think it's important we inform them more about how it can damage their health and what they should do to take care. So the first question of the day was this. This was on brown haze, and we asked them, what is this brown haze called? So it's called photochemical smog. How is it formed?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I got the mail at 5:17 p.m.
Right.
Qualifying. Ma'am, I don't know.
Let me check this. Why don't you drop us a message in the chat strip and we'll address this.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, Vivek, please tell us a little bit about photochemical smog.
So why we call it photochemical? Because in the presence of sunlight, the nitrogen oxide and volatile organic compounds or hydrocarbons being emitted from various sources react, and they form secondary pollutant called ozone. So it creates a brown haze, and NO2 itself is a reddish brown color. So it's very toxic, and it has been observed in despite having control measures in many Western countries. And now India is witnessing very high level of ozone. So it's an emerging concern as well as a present danger that we can consider for tough actions.
Right. So this beautiful skyline is nothing to feel great about. This is a clear impact of the nitrogen dioxide in our air. Let's move on to the next question. This is on indoor air pollution and on radon in particular. Please tell us how radon impacts our health, and very less is known about this radioactive gas as a pollutant. So it would be great if you can shed some light.
Yeah, it's naturally occurring radon gas that is being emitted by the compounds in the earth. So when we construct our houses, it seeps into the indoor environment also. There are regulations in other countries, but unfortunately, I don't think we have particular safeguards on this pollutant. So I think our building construction should include this kind of pollutants also, like radon gas, and also our paints that we use inside the homes to decorate. They emit VOCs, volatile organic compounds. So we have to use certain materials which are safe for us. I think that kind of regulations for indoor air pollution must be there.
All right. It's still a mystery to me how radon actually seeps through the ground, but let's move on to the next question. This is on which pollutant is mainly released from burning coal, and that's very clear to most of us, which is sulfur dioxide. Vivek, please tell us about the impact of sulfur dioxide.
Yeah, sulfur dioxide is like certainly a major irritant, and its combination with particulate matter is very deadly combination. And whenever we think about the previous smoke episodes, like London smog and other episodes, all were combination of coal burning. So certainly these are the SO2 is a major concern from coal burning. But fortunately, Indian coal contains less sulfur dioxide, but imported coal that we use has high sulfur. So we have to control the fly ash that is get generated from coal as well as sulfur dioxide.
All right, let's move on to the next question, which is on particulate matter emissions from smokestacks. So Vivek, please tell us what are smokestacks exactly, and what's the best way to control PM emissions?
See, in the industries, like the emission of the pollutants, what we call after combustion, after burning a fuel, what is generated at a high velocity, it goes out through a smokestack. A smokestack is like chimney. So in chimney, what one has to do that before it goes out to the environment, there has to be a device which should control the particulate matter. So, and it has been found that electrostatic precipitators in the big industries is the most effective because it charges the particles in positive and negative, and the impactors collect the particles. So that is the reason it is considered a good device. Although wet scrubber is also good for small industries, but one has to maintain it regularly.
Thanks for telling us about electrostatic precipitators and how they work. Now we go on to talking about global warming and acid rain, and which pollutant actually contributes to both. So Vivek, please tell us how global warming and acid rain is related, and how nitrogen dioxide contributes to this cycle.
The nitrogen dioxide like reacts with the VOCs in absence of sunlight, that creates ozone, and ozone is a prominent greenhouse gas. And also NO2 itself like helps in creating all these pollutants. So in that way, it is considered to be contributing to acid rain also, as well as global warming. But when you consider carbon dioxide, when it combines with water, it generates carbonic acid. That is slightly raises the acidic level. So among them, certainly NO2 or nitrogen dioxide is more concern.
Okay. And now we go on to the next question, which is about common health impact of ozone. And that is respiratory issues. I'm sure this question was a little easier for our participants. Vivek, please tell us about how ozone impacts health of people, especially children.
So as soon as ozone we breathe, it like reacts with our tissues in the lung linings, and it damages them. So if you observe, a pulmonologist will observe them, so they will see reddish color. So it makes vulnerable to the people to catch viruses, bacteria, and other things. So our immune system gets impacted, and we get more like breathlessness, coughing, wheezing. All those are associated with ozone pollution, and subsequently catching other diseases also because of our weak defense systems in the lungs.
Okay. This is indeed a serious problem, especially in Delhi, which is where a lot of children are also, where schools are closed down due to high air pollution. Going on to the next question, we have solar radiation, and how this phenomenon is related to airborne pollutants. So Vivek, please tell us a little bit about aerosol effect.
See, aerosols are of two kinds, like I would say, or three kinds. When they are like white aerosols, like when, for example, biomass is burned, those are white aerosols. so they reflect the solar radiation back. But the black carbon, that is the aerosol which is emitted from diesel engine or other combustion sources, it absorbs the sunlight, it warms the atmosphere. And when this kind of aerosol falls on the snow, for example, in glaciers, they will absorb more sunlight. So they will melt the glacier also. So it's a major concern, aerosols, the airborne pollutants.
All right. So here we have a simple question. This was about which city experienced highest amount of ozone pollution this year. And this is Delhi. Vivek, please tell us why Delhi suffers so much ozone pollution.
See, the massive number of vehicles, like if you combine vehicle numbers of all megacities together, Delhi has even after adding all the cities, Delhi has very high number of vehicles. So, and also we have a large area accommodated for like roads also, 21% or more than that. Entire
Okay.
Delhi NCR region has turned out to be a major area with high NOx emissions. Certainly, that leads to combination with the VOCs and creating ozone.
Okay. That was straightforward. And now the question on ammonia. How ammonia from agriculture contributes to air pollution. Please throw some light on this, how this actually happens.
See, certainly when the natural decomposition happens of the organic matter, ammonia gets released. But what is happening now for agriculture productivity, we are excessively using the fertilizers, nitrogen fertilizers. And these fertilizers, when we use excessively, they release ammonia, and it leads to ammonium particulates. So this has become a major concern from the agriculture sector. So we have to educate, make the farmers aware that use of excessive fertilizers doesn't make the soil more fertile. In the long run, it is going to get depleted of all the resources. So I think we need to move towards sustainable agriculture practices as well as controls on ammonia emissions.
Everything could lead to air pollution, even something which appears as unrelated as agriculture. Now we have a question on how do we know that ozone has reached dangerous levels in the air? And our options were a little complicated here, but still our students managed to crack this question easily. So NATS data calculates ozone in terms of 1 hour and 8-hour averages. Please tell us a little bit about how ozone is calculated.
See, why we take a short period of averaging? Because the reason is like the ozone forms in during the day for certain hours. For example, after the after afternoon period, when the sun is at very high, sun rays are high, and the heat is very high, that point of time it peaks a lot, and it goes down during the evening. So short-term exposure to ozone, and this is particularly concerning because that point of time children's come out of school and go to home, and they might be doing like they might be playing outside. So that is the reason during the daytime when we think that it is sun is abundant, it should be clean, but it's a hiding pollutant which is very, very dangerous for the people.
Okay. Let's go to the next question, and that is about now this is a very fascinating number. Which city saw a 4,000% rise in ozone exceedance days in 2000 this year compared to last year? Please tell us how Ahmedabad has suffered such severe ozone recently.
Like if you compare like 1 year to another year, what we have seen in Ahmedabad, the accidents are very high compared to 1 year to another year, 2023. So certainly what is emerging that it's not, ozone is not only a problem of big cities, but it is spreading to all other medium run cities also. So it's pan-India issue, and across, even in Chennai, although the levels are low, but the peak levels are very high. So certainly at short-term exposure, it may impact the people. So we have to scale up our monitoring because it damages the health as well as the crops. And we generally focus on particulate matter because it leads to a lot of mortality and diseases. But at the same time, now we have to think about multi-pollutant strategy, how to control it.
Okay. Going on to the second last question of the day, which is on agricultural productivity. So how does ozone affect agricultural productivity? Does it even have an effect? Is also something we do not know about.
It like the way it damages the tissues, our public, like human, animals, whatever we say, the same way it also damages the plants. So their product, like if it damages the chlorophyll component of the leaves, then the leaves gets damaged. So the production capacity of the plants gets reduced. So our crop failure or crop yield, how much like grains we could produce, it can even damage the natural forest. And often what happens that the ozone is generated in one place but drifts to another area which is considered cleaner. So for example, in the forest areas or the agriculture areas, it will be very high because there is no nitrogen dioxide to reduce it. So that is the reason, like it is considered a problem from public health perspective as well as damage to the crops also.
That's very serious. And now we have the explanation for the last question of the day, which is why is ground level ozone particularly dangerous in areas with less NO2? Please
So-
share your expertise on this.
Yeah, so NO2 has a very interesting correlation with ozone. NO2 leads to formation of ozone, but after a point when the ozone has been formed, and if the NO2 continues to get emitted, then the NO2 reduces the ozone level also. So what happens in the traffic areas, for example, traffic intersection, you won't find much ozone level. But as you move outside of the city, the ozone drifts certainly to the cleaner areas, and in those areas, NO2 levels are not there to reduce the ozone level. So it is a very interesting parameter to be seen because it behaves very differently, and many formations of particulates also is very strange. For example, one study found that although we say that sulfur dioxide levels have reduced in India, but the formation of sulfate particles has been observed in across the India. So why it is happening? So we need to investigate this, all these scientific phenomena behind them, and that way we can control it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vivek. I think this was very informative and a very helpful session. I'm sure our kids learned a lot. Now, now let's talk about the other important aspects of the quiz. So some important announcements are here. We will disclose the names of the winners to you next week. The top 5 finalists from you will receive prizes from the Center for Science and Environment as recognition of your outstanding performance. So congratulations in advance. You will also receive winning certificates. So you will have goodies and certificates. And for all those who didn't make it to the top 5, you need not be disheartened. Everyone who participated right in the qualifying round will receive a certificate for your hard work and dedication. And all of you finalists here today will definitely get one too. So just keep an eye out on the Young Environmentalist website. On behalf of the entire team, a huge thank you to all of you for making Hava Hawaii 3.0 such a fantastic event. Your energy passion gives us hope for a cleaner future. Now, before we go, let me share something that's both alarming and important. Delhi kids especially get a very unusual vacation every year, besides the regular summer and winter breaks. And do you know, this is called pollution vacation. Well, schools close down because air pollution levels get so high that it's unsafe to be outdoors. So imagine if we are growing up in a world where air quality can stop our daily life, what worse can happen? So this is the right time that we start fighting for clean air. And I thank you everyone until the next time. So stay curious, stay passionate, and keep fighting for clean air. Let us close the session in case, or let us, or let us take some queries from the participants. I'm sure you would be having some very valid questions, please. Anyone who wants to ask a question, please raise your hand. We have some time very briefly, so we can take in a few queries. I can see Arush Gupta. Arush, hi Arush. Thank you for switching on the video. Please introduce yourself and ask your question.
Ma'am, I am Arush, and I have the question that I got the email at 5:17 p.m. So
Okay.
my quiz was left. Starting of the quiz was left.
We pasted the email ID on the chat.
Arush, we will check this out. There could be an issue with the delivery. It might have landed up in your spam folder, though we had sent the email much in advance. But I'm sorry for the delay. Do write to us and we will address this further. I think that's it for the, I think that's it for the day today. Thank you all for joining in and making it to the session. Until the next event in the next month, see you all.